Yes, very good morning, guys. Myself, Dr. K. Swarupa, Faculty of Computer Science and Engineering, SV Colleges, Tirupati. In this session, we'll see about Grid and Cloud Computing, Unit 4 contents. In my previous lectures, already we discussed regarding GT4 and Hadoop framework. By the end of this unit, you will be able to apply grid computing techniques to solve large-scale scientific problems. Particularly in this lecture, we'll discuss about Hadoop framework and focusing on HDFS file system. Before we are going to discuss this particular concept of HDFS, we should have some prior exposure regarding core Java database concepts and also along with any Linux family operating system. And particularly the outcome of this lecture, you will be able to clearly learn regarding HDFS system and few of commands which we will use normally to access the HDFS. Let us recall again the introductory part. Hadoop is basically open source framework. Apache is the vendor for this. It is primarily we are using to store and process the big data in distributed environment. It is designed to scale up from single server to the thousands of machines where each is offering local computations and storage. So we can understand clearly one point here. Hadoop open source framework will use to handle with the big data. So as we know that big data is a collection of large data sets. So when we are handling this kind of large data sets, normally we won't focus on using the traditional computing techniques because these are not at all enough to handle big data. So we need and involving various kinds of tools and techniques and other frameworks. Big data including high volume, velocity and extensible variety of data. The data normally we'll use in big data is in three kinds. You can use structured data just like relational data, semi-structured data just like XML data, and unstructured data, Word, PDF, text, images, any kind of media logs. So any kind of data finally we are allowed to store in big data. And if you look at in this picture, any social networking sites, social media, I can say Google cluster, Facebook, as well as Twitter account, are some of the power grid data and flight recorder. See any of the database which regularly require very big database. These are all kinds of things we can be able to actually store. So this is a basic Hadoop architecture. As we know that Hadoop architecture is consisting two major layers. One we are using for computations and processing, and another one we are also using for storing the data. So here in the storage layer, exactly our today's discussed topic, Hadoop distributed file system is going to be handled. See, the purpose of HDFS is it can store the data. So now we should understand this architecture clearly, how it is possible to store this kind of big data in the HDFS. It has been developed based on distributed file system design. When we are talking about a single storage system, let us assume only 1 TB. See, in 1 TB, a distributed file system is effectively stores the data. So we are talking about cluster. Let us assume a cluster here is consisting four kinds of machines. Each machine is capable of holding 1 TB. So we are interconnecting all of these machines. So now we have finally 4 terabytes of storage data. So now how to handle this kind of 4 terabytes data? That will be suggested by our Hadoop file system. So obviously it is not a single system storage. That is the point I wanted to clear it. See, all machines when you are connecting internally even storage units. So obviously it is makes with a very large amounts of data able to store there. So even still our HDFS make it possible to easier access. To store such huge amount of data and files are stored across the multiple machines. That is what importance of our HDFS. It is also makes possible to parallel processing. Parallelly, we can be able to access the data, we can be able to update the data in the storage. Now, this HDFS design is based on master slave architecture. See, master slave architecture, we know actually. See, a master is going to be managing, monitoring, and guiding for the entire slave nodes. In the same way, HDFS is consisting two major elements. One is name node, it is just like our master node, and other kinds of data nodes are available. So all the data nodes are going to be working based on the instructions issued by name node. So the name node purpose is which can be able to manage the file system namespace. Whereas data node, it performs read-write operations in the systems as per the client. We can understand this topic from this architecture, whereas name node is maintaining data about all the data nodes and replication details and all. And parallelly, whenever client wants to read the data or write the data, the entire thing accessibility will be decided by the name node. Right. See, in this architecture, you can also observe that every rack is consisting thousands of data node, even though the same replicated data is going to be maintained in some other racks. See, the self-exact copies are also maintained in some other racks. If any case, any node is going to be crashed, the data is going to be make it available from some other racks. So these are the commands normally we'll use it to access the HDFS. To access the HDFS or to store the data in the HDFS file system, we need to start first of all. So when we wanted to start it, we need to use this command. Once we start it, we need to start actually the name node, the master node. To start the master node, this is the command start-dfs.sh. And after that, we wanted to see whatever the list of files are available in HDFS. So for that region, this is the command we are using. Hadoop fs-ls. Even in the Linux OS, same command we are using, ls, listing the files. And after that, if you wanted to create an input directory, see, simply you can use make dir, make directory, user and input. If you want to store the data in from any local system to the HDFS storage, then you need to use this command. Simply you need to insert put command. HDF Hadoop fs put command home where you wanted to actually store the data, that path it is. And finally, if you wanted to use an ls, actually you can verify whether the data in the second step, second command, whatever we inserted, properly inserted or not. You can verify by listing out the this command, that is again ls. And if you wanted to retrieve, this is the command cat command along with the path, right? As well as if you wanted to get a particular file from the HDFS to the local file system, you need to use get system. And finally, if you wanted to shut down the HDFS, you are simply writing stop hyphen dfs.sh. So your name node is going to be closes here. These are the commands. See, in today's lecture, we discussed about Hadoop file system and a few of list of commands to operate the HDFS server. For any clarifications, any discussions, if you have, please contact me in this mail ID. Thank you very much.